Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Bronco Coaches Show. We're at Old Burdick's Bar and Grill in downtown Kalamazoo. This is our final Bronco Coaches Show here in downtown Kalamazoo. In the new year, we'll move out to Wings West as they do a total renovation of the downtown Burdick's, and it'll be ready for fall 2025. So, here today to talk basketball with head coach DJ Stevens. And coach, coming off, I think, one of your most impressive performances of the season in front of 13,500 at Dayton, and you had the Dayton Flyers, you had them on the run there for most of the game.
Yeah, we did a really good job of defending and kind of taking away some of the things they wanted to do offensively, getting to the basket, and our guys, I thought, did a really good job of kind of maintaining their discipline and, kind of just taking away driving lanes and taking away the easy baskets that we had maybe been giving up. But we definitely competed there for, I had to say, 37 minutes, and unfortunately, those 3 minutes cost us.
They did. You had the lead at halftime, 35-32, and coach, you took that crowd of 13,500 right out of the game. I mean, it was pretty quiet in there in Dayton Arena, and wow, it was just a great game on both ends of the floor. You were getting to the basket. You weren't settling for jump shots, but when you did take a jumper, like Owen Lobsinger, he was reining them in like we know he can, and that was so fun to watch the ball go through the hoop for Owen.
Yeah, it was good to see the ball go in for Owen. He did a really good job of kind of being ready to shoot, and then guys did a good job of finding them when he was open. Markai was able to get to the basket and kind of press the issue offensively in transition and then the half court, and we got some easy baskets that way. So, I tell my guys the team that usually makes the most layups wins, and for a good portion of that game, we did a really good job of making layups.
And you defended well, too, against a team that was coming off a victory over the defending national champion UConn Huskies out in Maui. That was their last game prior to playing you. They almost knocked off North Carolina and Iowa State out there in Maui, finished it up with a win over UConn. Then you were their next opponent, and you played them better than UConn.
Yeah. I wish it kind of worked like that. We played well, and I don't know, I'm sure they had a little bit of a Maui hangover, and we caught them at a really good time. So I like to think that a lot of it was, us, but some of it may have been them, kind of having a hangover. But at any rate, I think that Dayton is a really good team and has a chance to maybe even compete to get to a Final Four, and for us to go out and compete like we did, I think it says that we can go out and compete with anyone when we're locked in and doing the things that we're supposed to do.
Coach, coming up, you've got a trip out west. You go to St. Thomas, team you played last year here in Kalamazoo, and then North Dakota State, returning a game from last year. Two really good teams next up.
Yeah, both of those teams are really good. We watched some film as a team today on St. Thomas, and they move the ball around really well. They drive to the basket. They take advantage of your mistakes defensively, and they're really good at it. So we're going to have to make sure we're locked in, and we can't relax and can't give them, open driving lanes and open layups.
Got a couple of guys here that we're going to talk to here in a moment. Markai Strickland and Max Burton, two of your starters, Coach, and they both played very well. Markai leads your team in scoring so far this season. He's averaging over 13 points a game, and Markai is as good a driver as I ever remember here at Western Michigan, taking the ball to the basket and finding his way through traffic to get to the rim.
Yeah, he does a good job of attacking and getting downhill, especially in transition. The coach is never satisfied, so I want to see him get downhill and then finish some of those drives with dunks rather than kind of tossing up some layups and falling away from the basket. So we're always looking to get better, and I think that's the next step for him is to, finish at the rim versus maybe falling away, even though he can make some really acrobatic shots.
Well, I love calling dunks, so there you go. We'll talk with Mark about that. I'm sure he's not opposed to dunking. And then Max Burton coming off one of his best games here a couple games ago against Youngstown. He really led you in that Youngstown victory on the road against a good Penguins team, and he had a career day scoring and rebounding.
Yeah, Max had a really good day versus Youngstown, and they're a pretty good team. I think that they'll compete, for maybe a championship in their league. So that was a big win for us, and that was a really good game for Max. I had spent a little time with him and kind of challenged him to do more and be a little better. His shooting percentage was down a little bit, and we just needed him to be better, with some of the shots that he was not completing around the rim. And give him credit. He answered the bell and had a really big day. And, hopefully we're moving forward. He can continue to do that. One of the things that he doesn't get a chance to work one-on-one and practice a lot because we kind of double the post, and this is St. Thomas game is going to be a big game for him because they play one-on-one in there inside, and I think we could take advantage of their defense. So he'll get an opportunity to just be able to take his time and go in there and make some big-time moves for us.
Coach did a little research here this morning before coming down here, and this is pretty amazing. Your record is 3-5 through 8 games, but you have a better field goal percentage than your opponents. You've shot more free throws than your opponents. You have way more rebounds than your opponents. You have fewer turnovers than your opponents. You have more steals than your opponents. You have more points than your opponents, and you average more than your opponents. I can't believe that doesn't transcribe into a winning season so far, but there you go.
Yeah, that is something that, is kind of tough. But when you play Butler and you play Dayton and then you play some other really good teams, it doesn't necessarily equal a win. And, we feel like we've been super competitive in every game, and we're just trying to get better each and every time out. And we know that that's going to translate to wins for us moving forward. We got to keep our turnovers down. And the one area that you didn't mention that I think has really hurt us has been our three-point shooting. And, I think we've been taking some really good ones and had opportunities to knock those down. And now with Owen seeing the ball go through the hoop, I'm excited about us moving forward and Brandon Muntu shooting the ball better. So I think we're going to be a better three-point shooting team, and I think that'll be a big difference for us as well.
Finally, Coach, you've been without 3 players here lately, one for the entire season so far, but there was a sighting of all 3 of those guys. Even Chauncey Willis went through shoot-around the other day before the Dayton game. Can you give us a quick update on those 3 guys?
Yeah, so all 3 of the guys are improving. Hopefully we'll have Chauncey and Javon maybe back for our next game. And then Donovan's progressing well. Not sure where he's at, but hopefully we'll have all 3 of those guys back as soon as possible.
That'll be a good thing because the rest of these guys are playing hard. You add 3 more guys to the mix. I really like your chances, particularly in the Mid-American Conference. So get out and watch these Broncos. They got a home game coming up against Valparaiso before the Christmas holidays. That's a Friday afternoon, 1 o'clock, I think, right?
Yeah, that's the game, we have right before the guys get a chance to maybe go home and spend some time with their families, take a breath, and just rest up a little bit before our max stretch. And but we just focusing really on the 2 games we have coming up this week, and we got to make sure we go out and have a really good showing, because I do feel like our team is getting better, and if we can continue to build on what we've done thus far, I'm really excited about where we can go.
I certainly agree with that getting better thing. And so get out and watch them here throughout the season. For Bronco basketball tickets, go to wmubroncos.com/tickets, and we'll see you at University Arena for some Bronco hoops as the season moves along. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Max Burton and Markai Strickland of the men's basketball team. Coach Stevens, thanks for being with us, and happy holidays to you and your family.
Thanks for having me, and happy holidays to everyone out there as well.
We'll be right back to Old Burdick's Bar and Grill for more of the Bronco Coaches Show after this timeout.
Burdick's has burgers, not burgers, burgers. All natural, honest to bigness, bona fide, aged steak, beef, burgers. Or chickpea. And Burdick's has beer, not beer, beer. Whether it's winning the big game or winning at life, it all happens right here at Old Burdick's.
Hi, I'm Jim Vandenberg. If you've been driving around, you've noticed empty lots and no new cars. We understand how frustrating this can be. That's why we've done the legwork for you. We're getting in CPO shipments from coast to coast to bring you the best late model vehicles with certified warranties. Don't get taken advantage of with markups on new and used cars. We make sure you get the best value for your car buying dollar. Maple Hill Auto Group, for value like no other.
Back at Old Burdick's Bar and Grill, downtown Kalamazoo, talking Western Michigan basketball. We'll talk with Coach Shane Klipfeld and some of his women's team members here in just a little bit. But let's continue on the men's side with two Broncos starters, Max Burton from Williamston, Michigan, and Markai Strickland. We're going to talk with Max here first, and Max had a career game against Youngstown a couple of weeks ago. Man, you had it going on in that one. What was it, 24-12, I think, something like that?
18-12.
18-12, okay, 18-12. That was a good game, though.
Oh, yeah, it was a great game.
Talk about what you were feeling in that game that allowed you to get going like that. I know Coach and Coach Whittington, you're one of your position coaches, and Coach Rudder that works with you guys kind of challenged you and paid off.
Yeah, I mean, first play of the game was for me to get a post up, and seeing the ball go through the hoop on that first play, I feel like kind of really set me up going forward for that game.
Isn't that amazing in basketball? You hit that first shot, and, man, you feel like, okay, everything's cool now, and I can knock them down.
Oh, yeah. The confidence boost once you hit that first one is unreal.
That dude you played against from Dayton, man, he was a load. Let me get his name. Zed Key from Ohio State, now at Dayton. He had 9 points and 5 rebounds. You out-rebounded him. He was big kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big physical kid, had a high motor. Just had to put a body on him early and try to get him out of there as quick as I could.
Rebounding is a staple for you guys, and that's a big role for you in the post to rebound the basketball. Everybody really rebounds well on this team, but that's something that Coach Stevens really impresses upon you guys, to get to the basket and get those rebounds, because that's either an offensive rebound, an extra possession that way, or a defensive rebound, and you're going the other way.
Yeah, if I can rebound the ball, know my assignment, and just hit my close-up shots, everything after that for the coaches is dessert after that. So that's my first focus is, rebounding and making my easy layups, and then after that, it's a cakewalk.
And defense, of course, that's another staple in Coach Stevens' vernacular. You got to play defense or you're going to be sitting next to him, right?
Oh, for sure.
The one game that you played in Kalamazoo, I believe it was against South Dakota, the game plan was to switch 5. and you found yourself guarding some little guys. What was that like?
It's definitely tough. I have a little more respect for the guards now. You have to have your head on a swivel 24/7. Yeah, it's definitely tough, but we managed to pull through on that one.
I really like that defense, and I imagine we'll see it some more here as the season unfolds, depending on your opponent. But you're 3-5, and like I was running down some of those numbers, you're outscoring your opponents, you're out-rebounding your opponents, you're out-shooting your opponents, fewer turnovers than your opponents. Those are all good things, and you've played some really difficult teams so far, and I think it's going to pay off, don't you, in the Mid-American Conference season?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's always tough losing games, but we can get prepared for the upcoming MAC season. I feel like that's going to help us more out when we get to March.
All right, now you go on a long road trip here. Once you get finals out of the way, and I know that's important for you guys, but then get to put that aside here for a few weeks and just concentrate on basketball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the winter season's always fun because you can just focus on basketball. It's like you're a pro for 4 weeks, so it's kind of exciting at times.
We mentioned Shane Whittington, but that dude was pretty good when he played here. In fact, he went on to the NBA with the Indiana Pacers and played many years overseas. But what's some of the advice and coaching that you're getting from Shane?
I would say, I feel like he's my biggest supporter. I feel like he gives me all the confidence in the world. Anytime I'm having a down day, a down practice, I feel like he's the one there to really pick me back up.
6'10" from Williamston. When did you figure out basketball was the way to go?
Probably about my sophomore year. That's when I first started getting contacted by coaches. I never really thought about college basketball until then.
Well, this guy can hit a golf ball, I can tell you that. Did you consider golf?
No, I did not, but no, I could be a dual sport athlete.
All right. Did you play anything else like baseball or any of that
No,
other
I
stuff?
didn't.
No? Okay. Well, he's a pretty good basketball player, and he's a Bronco, and we're glad he is. And you can get out and watch Max and the Broncos here coming up on the Friday before Christmas, a 1 o'clock afternoon game against Valpo over at University Arena. Max, keep it going. Hand that mic over to Markai Strickland. And let me tell you, this guy can ball with the best of them, and he is fun to watch, slash into the basket, going to the rim against bigger people. Now, he's pretty good size at 6'6", but when you get down there under the hoop, you got man-sized guys like Burton down there.
Yeah, every time.
Tell us about that ability to get to the rim, Mark. How do you do it, and what motivates you to get to the basket and know you're going to get clobbered when you get down there?
It's just about having a mindset that you're just trying to score the ball. Like, I think about the fall after the fact. I'm more worried about trying to make the basket. I know Coach DJ gets on me about dunking it all the time, but as long as I make the two, he can't be mad at me sometimes.
Well, let's see. Let me check your perimeter game. You're a 50% three-point shooter now.
Yeah.
5 for 10.
Yeah. I take smart threes is what he like to say, but I just make sure if I'm open, why not shoot the ball?
Yeah, well, you might as well if you're open, but getting to the basket is your thing and getting to the free throw line. So Markai, because he goes to the basket and does it so well, he shot more free throws than anybody on the team, 37 free throw attempts. And you make those free throws, that can win you a lot of games.
Yes, sir.
So what was your thought against Dayton? You're going up against a team that had just defeated UConn. What was the mindset going into that game, Markai?
After we watched the film, we just realized that they played sort of relaxed in a sense. So we were just trying to pressure them as much as we can on defense and try and out-rebound them to get the win.
I'm sure you watched some of the tape of the UConn game, and they beat UConn by 18. But you guys weren't phased. You were ready to go from the start on that one.
Yeah, we were ready to go. It was a great atmosphere. The energy was already there, so it was just time to go at that point.
All right. And you were at St. Louis for a time. Did you ever play there before at Dayton?
Yeah, that was our rival, so we played them twice a year, every year. So it was always crazy.
You know what you were getting into. Tell us, last year had to be really, really hard for you and Brandon Moon to. You both get here, you go through the entire preseason workout schedule, you start playing games, and then boom, you go down. You're both done for the year.
Yeah, it was rough because I'd never been hurt before like that. Neither did Brandon, so it was kind of new for us. So we just had to adapt and realize our role on the team. We still have a role regardless if we're hurt or not, and it was to support our teammates. So we just made sure we did that to the best of our ability.
I love the way this team gets along. I mean, I've traveled with them, and they do so well together as a group. And the energy on the bench can really have an impact in a game. And the energy on the Bronco bench during that Dayton game was impressive. And if you were watching it on television, I'm sure you noticed that. That makes a difference, Markai.
Yeah, it does. We all try to support each other in the best way that we can. We know that it gets hard during the game. It gets chippy, you know what I'm saying? So we just try to have each other's back and just support each other through everything.
All right, when did you get into basketball? Your dad was a ball player. I'm sure that rubbed off a little bit, huh?
I started playing basketball when I was like 3, but like it wasn't until middle school when I decided to like just stick to basketball because I played every sport, and then the ones that I wasn't good at or like wasn't as good as basketball, I was just like, I'm done with that.
All right, then you ended up here last summer, or a year ago summer. How did that all come down?
I was at JUCO, and Coach Chris was calling me all year long, like just checking on me, stuff like that. So I just came up to visit, and then I just thought it was a place to be.
Well, great. We're glad you're here. And I'll tell you what, I know you're 3-5 right now. You've played some really tough opponents in your non-conference season. You got 2 more coming up against St. Thomas and North Dakota State. Later on, Valparaiso. You got Michigan State coming up. Those tough non-conference games, though, are going to get you ready for Mid-American Conference play. I think this team can compete in the MAC and make a run here.
Yeah, I feel the same too. We just all doing what we can, especially guard-wise, since we have 3 out right now. We just doing what we can to try and get us wins and keep this shit rolling.
Keep it going. Markai Strickland leads the Broncos in scoring, 13.3 points per game, playing a lot of minutes, and keep up the good work, all right?
Yes, sir.
Markai Strickland, Max Burt of the Bronco men's basketball team. They'll be home against Valparaiso a week from Friday. That's a 1 o'clock holiday event before Christmas. So get on over to University Arena and watch these guys play Valpo. You will not be disappointed. They are really fun to watch, and they play hard from the opening tap to the final buzzer. I'm Robin Hook. We're down at Old Burdick's Bar and Grill. We're here till 1 o'clock talking hoops. We're going to switch gears and talk women's basketball next with head coach Shane Klipfeld. Later on, we'll get a bowl game preview from Elaine Russell from the administrative staff. All coming up on the Bronco Coaches Show after this timeout.
It all started with a war hero and wounded warrior. Sealy began on Portage Road in Kalamazoo in 1963. A lot has happened since then, and a lot has changed. But at Sealy, the more things changed, the more they stay the same. Trust, customer service, and community.
I'm Lindsay Tarpley. Happy 60-year anniversary, Sealy Auto Group, from your friends and community partners at World Champion Soccer Academy. Go Broncos!
Attention Bronco fans. Looking for a direct way to show your support? Meet Roy, the mobile app that lets you back your favorite college athletes. If knowing exactly where your money is going matters to you, now's your chance to make a difference. With Roy, you choose which athlete receives your support, helping keep your favorite players on the team. Download the Roy app today and join us in shaping the future of your athletic program. Roy is a proud partner of WMU Athletics and the Broncos Will Reign Collective.
Get a fresh view in Kalamazoo. Wander museums, catch a show, and see a classic or two. Unwind, open up, try something new. Bike around, make a splash, and explore nature's hue. Hit the trails, grab a bite, then relax with a brew. Be curious, get loud. There's so much to do. Find all this and more in Kalamazoo.
Robin Hook back with you at Old Burdick's Bar and Grill, downtown Kalamazoo. It's our final show from this location. We'll move out to Burdick's Wings West out in Texas Township for the remainder of the shows in January, February, and March, and we'll be out there. So same great Burdick's food. So come on out and join us, and or watch online on YouTube or on demand at WMUBroncos.com. With Shane Klipfel, Western Michigan women's basketball coach. You were here a couple weeks ago, Shane, and he's still playing a little shorthanded right now, trying to find a way to score some points.
Yeah, points are hard to come by, and when you can't score baskets, this game can seemingly be really difficult, and it's been fairly difficult for us so far. And some of it is definitely our own doing and things that we can be better at, and some of it is our lineup and our rotations has been very much like musical chairs in a lot of departments and a lot of reasons why. So, control what you can control, which is what we're trying to do. And I enjoyed listening to Coach DJ talk about, and you talk about the passion on the bench. That's what we challenged our team with in this last game, and it definitely was a noticeable difference. It's, we're all in this for the long haul and through good and bad, and this team is going to continue to fight.
Oh, I know they will, and you played Loyola here in your last game. You lost 57-46. Finding the basket was difficult, but Allie Carlson played 36 minutes, scored 16 points for you. That's kind of what you need out of her.
Yeah, for sure. We played her too many minutes, honestly, probably for this return at this stage of the return. But we just couldn't get her off the floor in moments that we felt like she needed to be out there. So we have to do a better job of managing that for everybody moving forward. For her, Marina, Hannah Spitzley, like we've got to find a way to get their minutes down in the low 30s so they can be a little bit more productive at the end of the game. If you looked at this game from a scoring standpoint, we've been historically struggling really bad in the first quarter and being fairly good in the fourth quarter for whatever reasons. And this time we flipped that switch. We were pretty good in the first 10 minutes, and then our worst quarter was the fourth quarter, and I think it had a lot to do with our fatigue.
Talk about minutes. Marina Asensio joined us here a couple of weeks ago. She played 40 minutes in that Loyola game because you're shorthanded in the backcourt.
Yeah, we went into this game knowing that we were going to try and pare down our rotation just to see if we could get some more rhythm, if you will, on offense. And while I think it paid dividends in terms of it allowed us to play a little bit faster with the rotation that we were using in terms of getting some transition buckets and getting the ball down the court a little bit quicker. But it did make us, our fatigue factor in the fourth quarter snuck up and bit us.
Asensio had 10 points. You had Vignette Murado played 27 minutes, had 5 points. Tell us about her.
Yeah, nice player. Kid that's still learning a lot about life in America, first and foremost, and then life on the basketball court as a Broncos. So she's a kid that we're super high on. She's our best defender as a freshman and draws the toughest assignment typically. We call it our garbage guy, which is supposed to pick up the ball in the backcourt and try and wear the point guard down throughout the game. And she does a really good job of that. She's her knack on the offensive end is a bit of a slicer and a dicer. She can get to the rim, and she's probably turning the ball over a little more than we'd like her to at this stage. But as a freshman, even in that department, she's putting her nose into situations, and I think she's going to learn from them and just get better and better each game.
You played your veteran forward Hannah Spitzley 38 minutes. She got 4 points for you, but she did get on the glass, 7 rebounds, and you need her to do that.
We do, and we're really studying to see how we can get her more in the scoring punch, because she's very capable, as anybody who's watched her play over the course of her career. She can put the ball in the bucket. We've got to figure out why that's not happening at the rate that it should be, and sometimes she passes up shots just because she's that kind of player, but we have to convince her that when she gets an open shot, she's got to take it, because she's very capable of making the shot anywhere on the court, and we have to do a better job of putting her in those situations.
Well, Coach Shane and his staff going worldwide finding basketball players. Doesn't matter where they come from, as long as they can put the ball in the hoop. And you've kind of taken on that international recruiting effort. Tell us how that's going. And are you going to continue that?
No question. We only have a 2-person class that we signed for next year, and one is coming to us from up north here in our great state, and the other's coming from Spain. Another one from Spain coming over, a 6'2" stretch forward. We think is going to fit in nicely and fill a spot in our roster that is going to be pretty open. So definitely we'll continue to recruit international. We have one Nile sitting out here in the crowd right now that unfortunately for us and for her, she's going to miss this year with a leg injury, but she was poised to have a great year. You could just see it all from the time she got back on campus in June, end of June to the end of September when she got injured, that she literally was playing the best at the guard position, and we talked about that over and over. So, but she'll come back from it. Today's her first day running already after surgery on a knee, so she's on a good pace to be 100% healthy when we open up camp at the end of June next year, and we'll be expecting big things from her.
She had a big game for you, I believe, a year ago against Central Michigan, scored 25, 27, something like that.
Yeah, she's got a knack for the ball ends up in her hands a lot in shot clock situations, so I think even her field goal percentage is deceiving just because she ends up with the ball in a lot of tough situations, but I also think she embraces those and she likes that and she wants that, and the more situations that she's put in that, the better she's going to be. But yeah, she can score it at all 3 levels, as they say, and she's got a really bright future.
That Spain connection's really paying off.
For sure. Yeah, actually, I'll be going to a wedding in Spain this year. Coach Kim is getting married at the end of May, I think, and I've already started looking for tickets to go over there and be with him on his special day. But yeah, Coach Kim is behind a lot of what's going on in the international scene, and a guy that's really well connected, not just in Spain, but all of Europe. And he's really putting in a lot of work for us in a lot of areas.
Got another player with us who you were really counting on, Deanna Richardson, and she hasn't been able to go yet either.
No, she's been getting herself and putting her in states that she shouldn't be in, apparently, but she got her head rung up in a scrimmage at the beginning of the season and missed a few games with that, and then came back, and unfortunately in the Detroit game was one of our players kind of rolled over onto her from behind and tweaked her knee a little bit, but so she's in the middle of rehab for that. We're fortunate, didn't require surgery, and we just have to let the rehab play out and see, when she's 100% again and what time of the year that is, but we're hopeful we'll see her on the court again this year. It's just too early to tell.
All right, Coach, this preseason is all designed to get you ready for the Mid-American Conference. There's some tough competition in the MAC, but the goal is to finish as high as you can, get to Cleveland, and if you get there, anything can happen.
For sure. We saw that last year, a year ago, and we missed the year before that, and none of us liked that feeling. But this group certainly, once we get all our tools back in our bag, is going to have an opportunity to do just that. And we've played a very tough schedule, as the men have chose to do as well, and that should pay off at the end of the day. And I think a lot of that, in combination with us going through all the rotations of people such as Deanna being out and potentially coming back, and Allie was out and now she's back in the mix, finding the rhythm and the right rotation and your best 5 together in certain situations is always a work in progress, and it's just becomes more difficult when you have people coming back and forth. But
yeah, that's always an issue, because when you have players out, your team wants to win, and so some people try to maybe do a little more than you want them to do at times, and that gets everything out of kilter.
Yeah, it can. It's something you have to watch for, and everybody that's on our team wants to do as much as they can for the team in any given situation, and that's never going to be a problem with this team. It's I think our players are eager to settle into a role, and we haven't been able to do that yet, but we're getting closer to that point.
All right, you got Prairie View coming up next week. Quick thought on that before we let you go.
Yeah, a good team. Record is similar to ours. I think they're 2-4, 2-5, but played at Georgia, at Wichita, at I can't remember the other team, but a Power 5 team on the road, Georgia. So kind of the same path we've had. It's a team that's going to get up and down the court. They can put points on the board. They average 70 points a game, have been over 100 twice this season. So when they're looking at us and seeing that we're struggling to score, they probably are looking a little wide-eyed at that. But we'll be ready for them, and we're looking forward to playing at home again.
All right, get online, order your Bronco basketball tickets for the women and the men. Go to wmubroncos.com/tickets. A lot of home basketball coming up this month and throughout the new year, January, February, and March, leading up to the MAC tournament in Cleveland. Shane, thanks for coming out, and good luck the rest of the way. I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon before the season's out. We'll take a break and come back and talk with a couple of players on Shane's team when we return to Old Burdick's, downtown Kalamazoo, for more of the Bronco Coaches Show after this timeout.
How far do you have to go to find a great deal on a new Ford SUV?
Not too far.
How about a new Ford F-150?
Not too far.
How about for basic maintenance and service?
Not too far at all. With Dorrance Ford's mobile service, we'll come to you.
Nice.
Now's the time to buy because we're making room for the 2025 Fords and moving out the 24s. Come in now for the best selection. Dorrance Ford is proud to support Bronco Athletics. Shop Dorrance Ford.
Not too far for your next car.
Burdick's has burgers, not burgers. Burgers. All natural, honest to bigness, bona fide, aged steak, beef, burgers. Or chickpea. And Burdick's has beer, not beer. Beer. Whether it's winning the big game or winning at life, it all happens right here at Old Burdick's.
Attention Bronco fans. Looking for a direct way to show your support? Meet Roy, the mobile app that lets you back your favorite college athletes. If knowing exactly where your money is going matters to you, now's your chance to make a difference. With Roy, you choose which athlete receives your support, helping keep your favorite players on the team. Download the Roy app today and join us in shaping the future of your athletic program. Roy is a proud partner of WMU Athletics and the Broncos Will Reign Collective.
Back at Old Burdick's, downtown Kalamazoo. This is our final Bronco Coaches Show before the holidays. Want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And then on the other side of the New Year's holiday, we'll be out at Old Burdick's at Wings West. Got a huge Burdick's out there in Texas Township. Hope to see you out there for those shows in the new year, January, February, and March. We'll have a lot of basketball. We'll talk some hockey, maybe some spring sports going into their season. But talking women's basketball right now with Nile Moira. Did I get that right? Nile?
Mugira.
Okay, there you go. I took German in high school, not Spanish, and I can't speak a word of German either. But anyway, Nile, you came over from Spain to a foreign country. What was that like?
It was a challenging experience for me, for sure. But I was really excited to try and play college basketball here. And Coach Shane gave me the opportunity to do it, so I was really excited. It was really challenging at first, but all my teammates helped me, and it was a good year.
Now, you played a lot of basketball in Spain growing up. When did you start hooping?
I started playing when I was 6, and that was the only sport I did during high school, and I loved it, so I just kept playing.
You played a lot of, what do they call it, club team
Yes.
basketball over there? Tell us about that and how that all works.
I started playing in my high school, and then I got the opportunity to go to a local basketball club, and
You have to be pretty good to get one of those opportunities, right?
Yeah. It's different from high school. It's more competitive basketball, and you also travel more. So I thought it would be interesting and helpful for me to improve and have more opportunities.
We have several players from Spain on this team. Did any of you know each other before you came over here?
No, we didn't know each other. The other two players, come from like the same area, but I live in another part of Spain, so we didn't know each other.
So how does the American style of women's basketball compare to what you're used to in Spain?
I would say college basketball here is more physical than the one in Spain. I would say Spanish basketball is more technique and footwork than physical type of basketball. So that was a big challenge for me last year. Lifting was not easy for me last year.
Yeah, you got to get in the weight room so you can bang around with Deanna and the Broncos in practice, and then your opponents.
Yeah.
Because she can ball underneath the hoop when she wants
she
to.
can.
Well, it's been a difficult season for you. You suffered an injury. Man, that really, really stinks.
Yeah, I was really excited to start playing this year. I really worked during this past summer, and it was really disappointing to had this season-ending injury. But I think it's an opportunity and a challenge for me to improve in other aspects of the game and also help players that can play this year.
Well, that injury is going to be taken care of here, and you'll be better than ever.
Yeah.
But last year you were in there a little bit. You had a career game against Central Michigan. We don't like the Chippewas around here. They don't like us either. But when you have a career game against Central Michigan, that's something you'll remember for a lifetime.
Yeah, it was one of my best games last year. I think I didn't start pretty well last year, the season, but having more experience and with the help of my teammates, I think I got pretty good looks that game, and I was really proud, and I think all the work paid off.
Women's basketball has just really taken off in the United States. It's getting so much attention, as well it should. I mean, it's a great product. What's it like in Spain?
We have really good pro teams in Spain. It's not really famous, but I think, as you said, women's basketball is becoming more famous all around the world thanks to college basketball. And I think that it's going to reflect also in other parts of the world, like in Spain.
Well, great. Well, I'm here to tell you, when Nile gets healthy, she's going to be famous in Kalamazoo because she's a really good player, and we're going to win some games with her.
Mm-hmm.
Here as a Bronco, only a sophomore. She's got a lot of basketball left here in Kalamazoo.
Mm-hmm.
Once that injury heals, and we can't wait to see you back in there. Continue success in the rehab, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Hand that over to Deanna Richardson. This girl, she can play. She can play physical. She can do it all, and she's a little banged up right now. What's going on with you?
Yeah, so I tore my MCL due to the Detroit Mercy game, and it happened with like 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Ah.
So yeah, that was really a hurt for me. But I'm doing rehab every day to try to get back as soon as possible. But it's really up to the well-being of my knee. So.
Yeah, you want to make sure it's right before you come back, and got great medical support here at Western Michigan. Team docs are awesome. They will get you right, and you will be back. But what's your take on this team right now, and where do you see things going?
I feel like we're still learning each other's playing style, so that can play a lot on how we've been playing so far. I feel like we're still getting to know each other as well on the court, but like we all have the same grit and a passion. It's just like it takes some time for us to get in our groove, and I feel like once we get in our groove, like we'll be unstoppable for sure. I
agree. You got some real talented players on this team. It's just getting everybody healthy and ready to go. And when that happens, I really see this team taking off. But in the meantime, while you're out, you can help with some advice and encouragement to your teammates, some of your younger teammates who might not have the experience that you have, Deanna.
Yeah, for sure. I'm always talking to the freshmen and even the veterans here too as well during practice and between games to try to help them to see what I see on the court and what I feel like they should be doing so it can help the team get better.
For our viewers who haven't seen you play, why don't you describe your style and how you develop that way you play the game?
I'm very aggressive. I love defending the ball. I love rebounding. I love attacking, and I love also getting my teammates going. So I love passing them the ball and helping them get the shots that I feel like that they should be getting. And then I also love the 3-ball. So I'm just like a all-around player.
She really is. Did you idolize a women's player or a men's player for that matter, growing up, learning the game?
Yeah. I used to watch Maya Moore a lot and Derrick Rose a lot as well. So, like, growing up, I used to watch them a lot.
I can see some Derrick Rose in your game. He was an all-around kind of guy that liked to get into it and mix it up. You're part of that physicality that Neely was talking about, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I want to ask you about when you got – did I ask you when you got started in basketball?
No, you haven't.
Yeah.
So I started playing basketball in first grade.
First grade, okay.
Yeah, so I started
Why did you pick up basketball?
I just loved it. My dad and my mom said, like, I picked up a basketball, and then I just started playing outside, and then they got me a basketball hoop, and I used to be outside, and they would be telling me, like, it's time to come in the house, Deanna. I'm like, no, I want to play some more, so, yeah.
Yeah, once you get that feeling in you, you never want to stop, and you shoot in the driveway or wherever. And how about the rise of women's basketball in the United States? That's got to be really exciting for you being a young woman playing basketball, the attention that has been focused on women's hoops here.
Yeah, it's very exciting to finally be getting the recognition that we deserve, because every woman that plays basketball, we're putting our all into it. Like, this is all we know. So it feels good to know that people are recognizing us and basically paying for us to play. Yeah.
Yep, and it's a good reason to come out and watch these ladies play. They play hard. They give it their all. They're representing Western Michigan, and they deserve your support, so get out and watch them this season. A lot of home games coming up on both the men's and women's side. And Deanna, good luck on your rehab. We hope to see you back on the floor soon for the Broncos.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's take another break. We're going to get a bowl update from Elaine Russell of the Athletic Department Administration and get you all up to speed on the Salute to Veterans Bowl coming up in Montgomery, Alabama on Saturday. Good luck to you, ladies. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back on the Bronco Coaches Show.
Verdicts has burgers, not burgers. Burgers. All natural, honest to bigness, bona fide, aged steak, beef, burgers. Or chickpea. And Verdicts has beer, not beer. Beer. Whether it's winning the big game or winning at life, it all happens right here at Old Verdicts.
Get a fresh view in Kalamazoo. Wander museums, catch a show, and see a classic or two. Unwind, open up, try something new. Bike around, make a splash, and explore nature's hue. Hit the trails, grab a bite, then relax with a brew. Be curious, get loud. There's so much to do. Find all this and more in Kalamazoo.
Back at Old Burdick's Bar and Grill for our final segment of the Bronco Coaches Show. It's our last show before the holidays. We'll be back in January, and we'll change venues out to Burdick's at Wings West, so we'll see you out there in the new year. Time now to get an update on the IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl, which is coming up on Saturday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8:30 airtime over on 106.5 Jack FM. Turn the sound down, listen to the radio. Shameless plug for myself and John Creek. But here to fill us in on all the goings-on and how fans can get involved is Elaine Russell, Senior Associate Athletic Director, the hardest working senior associate in all of college athletics. Elaine Russell, good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for the plug there. I don't know if I'm the hardest worker. At this time of year, I think everybody is a little busy with the crossover and bowl games and winter sports playing. So appreciative to be on a really great squad here at Western Michigan.
Oh, and there was a lot of winning going on in the fall. Go ahead. Tell us all about all those wins.
We did win quite a bit.
We won everything. I mean,
Everything.
we're going to the postseason in everything in the fall.
All 5 of our fall sports earned postseason opportunities, which we think has probably never been done before in the MAC. We did do a little research, and only 3 schools have 5 or more teams this year. It's us, Washington, and North Carolina State, I believe, have had 5 teams in postseason. So that's super exciting. And then on top of that, our Anton from men's tennis qualified for the NCAA men's individual tournament and qualified for the NCAA. So 6 NCAA appearances already this year.
That's incredible. You know, I thought last year was a good year, and
right?
it was.
We were celebrating a lot of winning
Oh,
last year, and then
my
we just
goodness.
amplified that this year. So super exciting time to be a Bronco, and kudos to all of our staff, our coaches, our student athletes, and the staff behind the teams making it all work.
Right, and only 82 teams go to bowl games, and Western Michigan is one of those 82.
We're one of them. Yeah, that's super exciting. Obviously, we needed to win that last home game. We talked about that on the last show, and what a great game that was to defeat Eastern Michigan, keep the State of Michigan trophy, and send our seniors out with a big win at Waldo Stadium in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was really cold that day. I don't know if I've had a game that cold that I've been out on the field for. So super cold, but a lot of fun, and winning cures a lot of things. So
Sure does, and we had a seamless senior day. I see these all over the place when we're playing, but the senior day ceremony at Western Michigan is flawless, and this lady organizes that.
Well, we have the people that organizes it. You know, Greg Cronkite and Jonathan Chick from our director of football operations probably had dozen of emails and conversations over that last week coordinating the timing, and they had it down to the minute to make sure we recognized all 26 student athletes and still have time for the band pregame and not take anything away from anybody. And so kudos to those team members that pay attention to details like that.
And that leads us to bowl prep, and you got a lot of stuff to do to move over 90 football players, all the staff, all the support staff, get a band down there and put on a bowl game. There's a lot of work that goes into that, and how's that all going?
Yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of people, a lot of moving parts, and a quick turnaround, right? We found out, I think we had announced it last Tuesday, so the preparation started right away, trying to organize all the logistics, the flights, when is the band going, when are the spirit teams, cheer and dance going, hotel arrangements, and then on top of that, all the fan events, because what's the very first thing you announce? People are calling, how do we get tickets? What events are you going to plan? Is there a special tailgate? Is there a pep rally? What hotels? How do I get gear? And so managing all those questions, and the simplest way to do that is we created a Bowl Central page. So if you go to WMUBroncos.com, huge splash page pops up. There's a couple links at the bottom, but we've been updating that daily with all the different things that fans might be interested in when it comes to our bowl game.
Yeah, we want to have as many fans as we can because South Alabama, they're playing in Montgomery, Alabama, so they're going to have a lot of fans down there, and as many Bronco fans as we can get, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, obviously we hope everybody travels. We know it's a quick turnaround. There's some things that people need to move around in logistics, but I think our fans are eager to try to find a way to get there. We know our families of our student athletes and our support staff and our coaching staff are very supportive, and they will all be there. And so we should have a pretty good contingent. Plus our entire marching band will be in attendance along with our cheer and dance team, and everybody's favorite Bronco Buster will be there.
All right, so you can go to that fan page at WMUBroncos.com, find out everything you need to know about the bowl game, and anything else we need to know?
Yeah, just if you get there on Friday, we have a couple events Friday. There's a pep rally, it starts at 5. We have the official fan gathering, it starts at 3. Then you can go right over to the pep rally at 5, and then on Saturday we'll have a tailgate right on site within the Fan Fest footprint that the bowl puts on. We have our own private tailgate that we're going to host for fans to take part of ahead of the game. So trying to definitely plan some events for those fans who are making the trip.
All right, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, Saturday from the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama. It's about a 14-hour drive if you're thinking about going down there, maybe a little less. Or you can, I'm sure, find some flights down there and join us for Western Michigan and South Alabama. Both teams 6-6, 5-3 in their respective conferences. This should be a pretty good matchup. They got a really good offense, but so do the Broncos.
So do we.
And so could be a wild one of those crazy 45-44, something like that. But it'll be a lot of fun. The 12th bowl game in Western Michigan history. We got 2 dubs, looking for number 3. I know that's the focus for Coach Taylor, his staff, and his players to win that 3rd bowl game in Western Michigan history. So we hope to see you down there. If you can't make it, tune us in at 8:30 Saturday night on 106.5 Jack FM. We'll set it all up for you for a 9 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. The first bowl game of the FBS College Bowl season. That's going to do it. Lane, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me. Go Broncos.
We'll be back in January out at Old Burdick's in Texas Township at Wings West. We'll see you then. Happy holidays, everybody.